The most dangerous people in the world, 2024. We live in a crazy world, man, seriously crazy. And it's not getting any less crazy. These individuals stand out as the most dangerous people in 2024. They're not messing around, playing a high-stakes game where nations' fates hang in the balance. From political leaders with nuclear buttons to criminal masterminds in the shadows, their actions have far-reaching consequences. This guy, man, he's something else. I mean, you look at what he's done, what he's capable of, and it's straight out of a Bond film. But this is real life, and the stakes are incredibly high. He's got his hands in everything, you know, pulling strings, making deals, whispering in the ears of powerful people. He's built a web, a complex and terrifying web, and it seems like he's always a few steps ahead of everyone else. This guy, man, he's something else. I mean, you look at what he's done, what he's capable of, and it's straight out of a Bond film. But this is real life, and the stakes are incredibly high. He's got his hands in everything, you know, pulling strings, making deals, whispering in the ears of powerful people. He's built a web, a complex and terrifying web, and it seems like he's always a few steps ahead of everyone else. This guy, man, he's something else. I mean, you look at what he's done, what he's capable of, and it's straight out of a Bond film. But this is real life, and the stakes are incredibly high. He's got his hands in everything, you know, pulling strings, making deals, whispering in the ears of powerful people. He's built a web, a complex and terrifying web, and it seems like he's always a few steps ahead of everyone else. This is a woman who doesn't let anything stand in her way. I mean, you talk about ambition, you talk about ruthlessness. She's the embodiment of both. She rose to power in a world dominated by men, and she didn't just survive, she thrived. But that kind of ascent, it comes at a cost, and in her case, it looks like that cost is measured in human lives. This dude is like a ghost, man. He exists in the shadows, pulling the strings. You hear whispers about him, rumors of his exploits. He's a master manipulator, a puppet master. He seems to be everywhere and nowhere at the same time. It's like he's got this network, an army of followers. Chapter 4. You think about the world of technology, right? It's supposed to be all about innovation, making the world a better place. But this guy saw the potential for something darker. He's weaponized information. He's using data to control and manipulate people on a massive scale. We're only just beginning to understand the true extent of his reach. Chapter 5. This woman, she's a force of nature, man. She's got this charisma, this raw power that just draws people to her. And she uses it to preach a message of hate, of division, of violence. She's a demagogue in the truest sense of the word. She preys on people's fears, their insecurities, their anger, and she channels it all into this toxic movement that threatens to tear society apart. Chapter 6. This guy, he's all about money, man. Power, greed, it's all he cares about. He's willing to do whatever it takes, no matter who he has to step on. By the time anyone figures out what he's up to, he's already made off with billions. Chapter 7. This is a woman who understands the power of fear better than anyone. She's built her empire on it. She's created this climate of paranoia, of suspicion, where everyone is a potential enemy and no one is safe. She's a master of propaganda, using it to control the narrative, to shape the way people think. She's got her fingers in the media, in the education system, even in the arts. Chapter 8. This dude is a warrior, man. He spent his entire life fighting, clawing his way to the top, and he's not afraid to get his hands dirty, to shed blood, to do whatever it takes to win. He commands a vast army, a force to be reckoned with. But what's truly terrifying is his ambition. He's not content with just controlling a small corner of the world. He wants it all. Chapter 9. This woman, she's a true believer. She's got this unwavering faith in her cause, in her ideology, and she's willing to go to any lengths to spread her message. She's a charismatic leader, able to inspire fanaticism in her followers. She's built a movement from the ground up, and it's rapidly gaining power and influence. Chapter 10. This guy is a survivor, man. He's been through hell and back, and he's come out the other side stronger, more ruthless, more determined than ever before. He's seen the worst of humanity, and it's hardened him. He's built walls around himself, emotional walls, and it's made him incredibly difficult to read, to predict. Chapter 11. This woman, she's a visionary. She sees the world in a way most can't comprehend. Determined to make her vision a reality, a brilliant scientist, a genius intellect, her work shrouded in secrecy, on the verge of a breakthrough. Others fear she's playing with forces unknown. Chapter 12. This guy, he's a true enigma. He's got this aura about him, this sense of power and danger that's both intoxicating and terrifying. He rarely speaks, but when he does, people listen. His words carry weight, and they have a way of getting under your skin, staying with you long after he's gone. Chapter 13. This woman, she's a survivor. She's overcome incredible adversity in her life, but it's only made her stronger, more resilient. She's a voice for the voiceless, a champion for the oppressed. She's not afraid to speak truth to power, to challenge the status quo. Chapter 14. This guy, he's a rebel. He doesn't play by the rules, he doesn't follow the crowd. He's a lone wolf, a disruptor, and he's here to shake things up. He's got this infectious energy, this aura of defiance that draws people to him. He's a natural leader, but he's not interested in power for power's sake. He wants to change the world, to make it a more just and equitable place. Chapter 15. This woman, she's a truth seeker. She's dedicated her life to uncovering the truth, no matter how uncomfortable or inconvenient it may be. She's a journalist, an investigator, a relentless pursuer of justice. She's fearless in her pursuit of the truth, even when it puts her in danger. Chapter 16. This guy, he's a protector. He's dedicated his life to protecting others, to standing up for those who can't stand up for themselves. He's a soldier, a law enforcement officer, a first responder. He runs towards danger, not away from it, and he's willing to put his life on the line for others. Chapter 17. This woman, she's a healer. She's dedicated her life to helping others, to easing their suffering, to making the world a better place. She's a doctor, a nurse, a social worker. She's compassionate, empathetic, and she truly cares about making a difference in the lives of others. Chapter 18. This guy, he's an artist. He sees the world in a different way, a more beautiful, more meaningful way. He's a painter, a musician, a writer. He uses his art to inspire, to challenge, to make people think differently about the world around them. Chapter 19. This woman, she's a teacher. She's dedicated her life to educating others, to opening their minds to new possibilities. She's a professor, a mentor, a guide. She believes in the power of education to transform lives, to create a better future. Chapter 20. This guy, he's an ordinary person. He's just like you or me, trying to make his way in the world. But he's also extraordinary. He has the courage to stand up for what he believes in, to fight for what's right even when it's hard. Outro, these individuals, man, they're a trip. Some are straight up scary, some are fascinating, and some you just gotta respect their hustle. They've shaped the world in terrifying and profound ways. It makes you think, about the nature of power and the choices we make. We're living in wild times, man, and these individuals reflect that. Stay informed and stay safe.